Hello, my friends, and welcome to PostScript. We have a wonderful interview here today with an old friend, Micha Eizen. Micha is an inventor and an engineer and has done very significant kind of things in being able to turn kind of basic technology into production in many kind of situations around the world. He's an expert on battery technology. And he's really done some extraordinary kind of things in terms of healthcare. And we're happy to have you. Welcome to PostScript, Micha. How are you?
Thank you, John. Happy to be here. I'm okay.
Well, that's good. Well, you and I go back a ways, and we've spent a lot of time in lots of different kind of situations all around kind of technology. And I really, maybe you can very quickly tell our viewers a little bit about your background.
Okay. Well, since I was a baby, my parents told me that my grandpa was an electrician, and when I could not even stand up, I was sitting in the pen. He brought me old radios with the vacuum tubes in those days, and he gave me a small, tiny screwdriver, and he taught me how to unscrew the little screws. And I just picked it up, and I was sitting hours and taking the screws and taking everything apart until my mother was afraid that I would swallow the screws or something. And she took the small screwdriver from me. So yeah, since my birth, I had an inclination for technical things, and I was very good at understanding things and interested in how things work. My curiosity led me to many quests in many different fields. So going forward to when I started to research spirituality and do a lot of self-improvement work, my guides told me that I came to this world to bring different solutions in many different things. So it can be a machine, can be a technology, can be production, can be consumer products, because this is how I'm wired, always to see something and then to think, how can it be better? Like continuous improvement. And I cannot stop it. This is how I'm wired.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you give me, I will start process it and think and see how can it be better, how can I help to make it better. So this was like the backdrop of how I am wired and what I'm interested to. I'm also a musician. I started to play the piano without even being taught, and I had a few musical bands. So at the age of 14, before going to high school, my parents asked me, make up your mind. You want to be a musician or you want to be an engineer? So the sad truth is that I checked all my musicians heroes at that time, and John, they were starving. They were the best of the best, and they didn't have enough money to pay the bills. So sadly, I said to my parents, you know what? I'll pursue engineering and keep the music as a hobby, as something that I love to do. And so this is so they sent me to a technical high school. And from there, I proceeded to study my engineering studies. And in the Air Force, I served, I learned how to fly a helicopter, and then I became a teacher in the Air Force for 2 years. And
you're talking about in Israel, where you.
Yeah, I was born in Jerusalem, and yeah, so I served in the Israeli Air Force, but I didn't want to pursue to complete the flying course because I didn't want to kill anyone. So I told them I'm willing to fly to carry things, to bring things. I don't want to kill anyone. They said, no, 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 no. If you're a pilot, you have to do as you're told. I said, okay, so I'm out. So, they said, okay, when you grow up, come back to us. Yeah, they were really humiliating. So I said, okay, I don't want, I'm too sensitive to cause damage and pain, which I will touch in a few moments. So I became a teacher for 2 years, and then I joined the corporate Israel, which is exactly like corporate America. The Coca-Cola company, I became a plant engineer, and there I learned about food, beverages, production, many things. And after that, I helped my family business. My father had a big steel tube factory, and we made a lot of furnitures and stuff. So many different areas. The people who brought me to the US told me, I'm not trying to brag now, they told me people like me with the experience and knowledge and know-how are maybe four in the whole world. So this is why they wanted me. And they brought me with everything, with my family, almost 20 years ago. And then I joined the US corporation, corporate America, which is no difference.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I didn't like it. I was always outside of the box, and people don't like it in corporate America. You have to do as you're told.
Yeah.
Stay in your corner, which is not me. I don't have a box. I don't have a corner. I don't want to be in the corners.
Well, let's talk about a little bit of that. First of all, you live in Southern California now, right?
Right.
And
Before that was in the Chicago area.
you got a marvelous big machine shop. I've been out there and looked at it, and so you're a real inventor, and and in particular, you've invented a number of kind of things. Right now, you've invented and you're selling a deodorant. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so this is another example of how my mind works. I found myself 14 years ago without a healthy deodorant. I was sure I was using the one of the best deodorants, and then I found that it's made from aluminum, and they called it alum, which I didn't know that alum was a short for aluminum. So there I was, and I had the experience, and I had time. I was a consultant, so I had much more time. So I asked my guides. I'm always talking with I don't know who am I talking with, but my guides, let's say. I asked for help, and the help said, make a list of all the vitamins and minerals that you know that they are healthy and needed for a healthy body, and see what you can come up with using only these ingredients. So this is how it began. And then I found out very quickly that we need magnesium. All of us are lacking a lot of magnesium. And then I quickly found that the Dead Sea salts, the Dead Sea minerals, has 54% magnesium in the dry salts, if you measure. So most of it is magnesium. And then another 75 or 76 minerals and trace minerals. I said, wow, this is great. Let's start with that. So that was the first ingredient. And then I took from the list calcium, potassium, iodine, MSM, phosphorus, essential oils. And it took more than, I would say, 1,000 hours of research and experiments. Finally, I came up with a lotion deodorant. At first, I wanted to make a stick deodorant, but it didn't work. Magnesium absorbs water and becomes mush. So, okay, so lotion. Why not? So this is how it came about. And then I won the best deodorant for sensitive skin by Epoch Time magazine. I didn't know that they bought without telling me. One day they called me, they said, you won the best deodorant for sensitive skin. I think you know this the strength of the version of deodorant. And they said, send us a nice photo, we'll put you on our magazine. So then I developed a few more types to suit every weather, stress, sweat level, skin condition. So I have like 5 different strengths because there is no such a thing as one deodorant fits all.
Right.
And then I proceeded to develop more health skin care products,
Right.
only the healthiest. Everything I do, I can eat safely and become and get healthier. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise I will not do it. There are enough companies that
Well, this is really kind of unique in terms of, as you say, the quality and the safety associated with, to say nothing about effectiveness of the products that you have, and you distribute them all over the world. I know, and that, here at the Transition Talks, as a matter of fact, we give them away as samples to
yeah.
on a number of our meetings, and so. You're going to be with us at Transition Talk March the 14th, along with Deborah Rose, who, and so we're going to have a big all day long kind of event about healthcare. And so we're really looking forward to that. But we're not going to talk about deodorant. What we're going to talk about is hydrogen therapy. Talk a little bit in general about what that's about and a little bit about what you've done in that space.
Okay, so in a nutshell, hydrogen is not new. Hydrogen as a medical therapy gas is not new. It was discovered over 100 years ago in 1898. There was the first book published by a doctor in London, England, about using hydrogen and other gases too for therapeutic purposes. So that's the first evidence of hydrogen as documented by a doctor. And it went through many iterations. But the thing is this, that doctor found out, he was a surgeon, he was operating on his patients, and he found out that when he gave them even a little bit of gas to breathe through bags, they collected the hydrogen in bags of silk coated with oil, and it smelled like oil, the gas. It was nasty, but even a little bit of gas caused phenomenal recovery and fast recovery versus people that did not breathe the gas. So this is, and he didn't know why it happened, but it happened. So he reported in medical conferences to his colleagues, try it, it works. I don't know why, but it works. And everybody tried it and they saw, yeah, it works. Today we know why it works, because we are made mostly of hydrogen, 62% hydrogen. If you count every atom in every tissue, so we have 62% hydrogen, 24% oxygen, 12% carbon, and the rest 2% is all the minerals and trace minerals that we are talking about. And we are all concentrated about the 2%, the magnesium, calcium, potassium, iodine, whatever. And we are forgetting that we have 62% of hydrogen, which is a nutrient, actually. It's kind of a food. Mm. So this is, in a nutshell, what's going on. Now, the hydrogen consumption is so important that everyone has a hydrogen machine in his stomach. When we digest the food, the acids in the stomach releases hydrogen. And the body takes the hydrogen immediately for repair, rejuvenating, scavenging free oxygens, which are the bad free radicals. And then we become younger because we have less oxidative stress, which is aging. So less aging. It is proven that people who are breathing every day hydrogen, they live longer 30%.
Wow.
That means they are getting younger and they can keep on living. Yeah, these are proven. There are more than 2,000 studies all over the world documenting this, many aspects of this. There are many stories that I will touch them in the presentation.
Well, we're going to demonstrate, because I've got one of your generators, one of your oxygen generators, and it's a really beautiful piece of machinery. and we're
Yeah.
going to demonstrate it and tell people about it. Now, this is kind of interesting because it has healthcare, clearly a whole bunch of healthcare implications and benefits, which you're going to talk about. But it also, this is a HHO, right? This is a Brown's gas that it generates.
Brown's gas. The
Which
difference.
Talk about that, because that's really interesting.
Okay, so the water are made from two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. Each molecule of water has two hydrogens. It's at H2, and then H2O. It means two H's, two hydrogens, and one oxygen. And they are connected. There are at least today 9 different ways to separate, to break down water into the two gases, hydrogen and oxygen. One of the methods that we are using in most of the hydrogen machines in the world, it's called electrolysis. You run a current, DC current, or a pulse DC current through water, and the electricity causes the water to separate into two different gases. And if you want, you can collect them separately. But Brown's gas separates them and then unites them together. So you get one output from the machine. You don't get hydrogen output and oxygen output. You get a combined output. And he got a patent on his way of breaking the water or dissociating the water into the two gases.
So you're talking about the two gases coexisting together in a mix, kind of,
Yes.
right?
Yes,
and,
mix.
but not fused together like water, right?
No. So yeah, so it's kind of interesting. In order to separate, to break the water, you need energy, the electrolysis. And in order to combine the water, the gases again, you need again energy. So if you want to combine the two gases again, you just ignite them and they explode and you get water drops from, if it's a hydrogen car, you will see water leaking, dropping from the exhaust that you can drink, distilled water. So you need energy to break the water and to combine the water again. So this guy that found this way, he was from Australia. His name was Yule Brown. This is hence the Brown's gas, the name after him. He found that this gas has many different amazing behaviors. It reaches very high temperatures. It doesn't behave like any other gas that we know.
Well, it reaches such high temperatures that it's really great for welding or brazing or soldering or any of those kinds of things. You can make metals so hot that they come together, right?
Yes, yes. So for many years they are using the Brown's gas for jewelry, and also to, when they cut acrylic plastic to make the edge shiny and smooth, they go with a torch, just melt the outer layer so it look nice and polished. So they use these torches, and you can buy them, I mean, even on Amazon, for industrial use as torches and welders and soldering.
Yeah, but then it gets kind of magical. So talk about what it does with a human body.
Yes, and nobody at the beginning thought that this Brown's gas has therapeutical characteristics. Nobody even thought. They used it as a torch, a welder, as a heat source.
Yeah, but before you go there, well, they use it for a torch, but you can put it on your hand and it doesn't heat your hand up.
Yeah, yes. It's very strange how this gas reacts with the human skin and body, and maybe this is why they found that it's very safe, because hydrogen gas considered today as the safest medical gas that you can inhale or even put inside the body, and they are using hydrogen in surgeries One of the stories was that it was a way to find out if a soldier was wounded in a battle by a shot. They didn't know if his intestines were punctures or not, so they used to push hydrogen gas because they knew it's safe, it will not harm the patient, and like looking for a flat tire where the gas is coming, where the air
Where
is
the leak
coming.
is. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's an amazing invention of one of the very known doctors, and I will touch it in the presentation how he did it.
You don't want any open flames around anywhere, though.
I'll tell you something that will maybe shock you. The way to find the leak was to be there next to the wound with a flame.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And when the explosion happened, they oh, there is a leak. And the doctor said, oh, it's also disinfecting the area. The explosion. But
Well,
it
I've
saved many
seen
people.
that, the therapeutic effects of this are, like you say, really well known. I've seen a segment of Dr. Oz on television where he was, just applauding the extraordinary kind of benefits of all of this. And we're going to talk about that when you come here in March, and along with Deborah Rose, who by the way is a wonderful kind of healer and a naturopath who specializes in dealing with people and helping people who the regular system has not been able to help at all. And so it's going to be a really wonderful day, and it's going to be a lot of fun to do that. So what else are you doing? Yeah, I know you're interested in energy kind of things, and because you and I go to these energy conferences up in Washington State. What else have you been doing in that space?
I'm working, as you may know, on something that will be very good for making energy very cheap in a moderate amount, not huge amounts, with using mechanical parts. Imagine a mechanical wheel that has weights inside, and the weights can move out and in. And you build it in a way that the weights are always keeping the wheel turning because it's always unbalanced. And this would be great. It's easy to fix, easy to understand how to make it. And you can connect a few of them together to get more energy. And this can, imagine a village that have 3 or 4 wheels, and they get all the energy that they need to charge their phones and whatever they need, and they will fix it. Nobody
Right.
needs to, and you and I can, help the whole world with such a project. So this is something that I'm working. When the time comes, it will be ready.
All right.
Besides that, I just wanted to add something. The reason that I'm always interested in health since my young age, because I didn't want to suffer pain. So I said, okay, I guess if I will be healthy, I will not suffer pain. And because I've seen so many people suffering, my family and stuff, it's always uncomfortable. So this is one of the ways that I always like to help people not to suffer. Life
Yeah.
should be fun. God said, whatever God is, whoever God is, God says, you came here to enjoy, to eat chocolate, not to suffer all the time. Okay, so let's eat chocolate.
I guess I missed the chocolate part. Yeah.
Yeah, well, dark chocolate maybe. So this is why I'm very interested about health. And there was one time that my late wife was a channeler, and through her I asked to talk to Nikola Tesla himself, the big guy. So, and I asked him if he can guide me to build something that I know that he made many therapeutical devices that we don't know about, many of them. So I asked him if he was willing to guide me, and he said, I'm willing to guide you, but you have to do exactly as I tell you. I said, okay, well, you're the boss, not me. So he guided me to build a therapy device which can heal a person in proximity to the person or remotely.
Mm.
And this has to do with special electromagnetic waves, which are more than the usual waves. They're called scalar waves.
Right.
And this device is helping. I have a few healers that are using it for many years, and there are testimonials of that they are healing people remotely by just putting their photo in the machine. And another note, like what the issue is. And I have a healer in Chicago, Michael W. Smith. He healed a veteran that was on a wheelchair like hundreds miles away. He never saw the guy. He just put his photo in the machine. And one day the veteran calls him. I said, I don't know what you did, but I'm walking.
Wow.
I can let you talk with the guy, yeah, with the healer. So Tesla guided me to build this small box, and it works. It works. So, I cannot explain everything. I can tell you what Tesla told me,
Yeah.
but it appears to be that there are, I think Greg Braden is referring to that, the field. I think this machine can connect to the field and connect your intent
Mm.
field and accelerate it up to 30 times.
Wow.
However, he said that in order to make sure that nobody will do harm using this device, it has to be programmed in a way that it will only obey to positive intents. You can
Yeah.
only help people. You cannot harm them. The device will not obey. So it's embedded in the device, and he is testing. After I finish and testing everything in the hardware,
Yeah.
he's testing it from the energetic realms and tells me, okay, the machine is good, you can deliver it.
Well, this is fascinating. It's always fun. I always enjoy being with you. And we're really looking forward to having you here in March. Is that the 17th? Is that what you said? Uh,
Saturday the 16th, I
the
think.
16th, the 16th of March.
Yeah,
And it's going to be a really interesting day, as you can tell from this kind
yeah.
of like having an extended conversation. We'll have, a dinner together from all the folks that are there in Berkeley Springs, here in Berkeley Springs, and you can get a chance to meet a lot of these folks, but it'll also be live streamed as well. And so our viewers will be able to participate in this no matter where they are in the world. And so it's really going to be a fun day. And so uh, we encourage them all to take a look at TransitionTalks.org, which is where you can find out all of the information about it and where it's going to be and such. And we're going to look forward to having you with us, Micha. It's going to be a good time.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to share the love and health and joy with anybody that is ready to receive it.
Yeah.
I think this is a mutual mission that you and I have with many other people, of course, and we should just give our gifts
Yeah.
to the best that we can.
Well, thank you. And for our viewers, this comes to you on a regular basis from the Arlington Institute, our little research institute and think tank that I started about 35 years ago. We're located in Berkeley Springs, West Virginia, in a little resort town just 100 miles from Washington and Baltimore. And it takes a couple hours to drive out here from anywhere, the major places around the East Coast. And we hold forth with our transition talks once a month with very interesting speakers, including Greg Braden and, all kinds of well-known people. And so it's going to be really fun. And we encourage you to look into it and join us if you can. So thanks, Micha. Nice to talk to you. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the 16th.
You're welcome, John. Thank you very much for having me.
and the 16th of March.
March.
And thank you for watching, and we'll see you.